I've been talking so much about this new Empowerment Studio experience that we are welcoming in 2024 to the Empowerment Studio. Now, you all know that we do photography, right? Boudoir photography is our jam. Ashley is gorgeous. That's another thing that we know. So you know, this is the tool that we have used for 11 years now to guide clients through the self-worth and self-care and taking up space stuff. This is where we have created the practice playground for you to strengthen your boundary muscles. This is where you've been able to come in and really see yourself. And community, this is where you do the exploratory work. This we do really, really well as well. This is where you build community. You come together with a hive mind of folks who get you. Bigger growth is possible in community. We have seen it over and over again. And so, this new empowerment experience is a combination of the two. This is the culmination of everything we have been working for all these years. We are combining potent, beautiful portrait photography, and we are combining that with community, the way the Empowerment Studio does it. This is the experience of a session that happens with the growth work that happens in community. Okay, now, Libby has actually talked about her first boudoir experience with the Empowerment Studio, which the first time she ever came into a session, it was not this photo. The first time she ever came in, she had like just found me through a model call. And she was like, okay, this person seems to claim that they're size inclusive and okay, cool. Let's see what they've got, right? Sure. And then they came in and they actually had a really transformative experience during their session. They were like, she was like, oh, wait, this is actually great. Oh no, I think I'm gonna love these photos. Oops, wait, okay, this isn't quite like as bad as I thought it was gonna be, right? Okay, so there was like that happened and it was beautiful. We made lovely photos. I think she really enjoys looking back at those, right? But then after years of Empowerment Studio work, Libby decided to come back and do another session. And this is after community, after connection, after poking at her brain, after doing some big like body liberation work in togetherness in the Empowerment Studio. And then Libby came back in for her second session and holy cow, there was this amazing moment where Libby was like, I remember this so vividly. She was like on her knees on the bed in the Empowerment Studio. And I saw something like shift. And then she felt it shift. And she goes, hang on, time out. I got in my head. I'm all caught up in my head. And I was like, okay, cool. We just got to get back to ourselves here then. Let's take some deep breaths. Let's do a flow pose. And so we ended up like just together without even doing pictures at first, like doing a flow pose. And it was because of that self-awareness from the work that she'd been doing all of these years, right? And over the course of months leading up to her session, knowing that that was coming up, that her session was on this next level. I've often said, like, I can meet anyone wherever they are at. If you're down here, if you're like at this level and this is where you need support and this is where you need to feel seen, I will meet you there and we can like do some of this big lifty work together. But if you have been doing this work in community, if you've been doing the Empowerment Studio thing for a while, then I can meet you up here. And then we get to explore on this whole nother level. This is something that happens with repeat clients where I'm like, oh my gosh, you've already done a lot of the work. Now we get to play. Now we get to explode. Now we get to flow together, right? That's what you deserve. That's what I want for you. That's what I want for every single client who comes through the Empowerment Studio doors. I want you to feel like you've already been doing the work. You've already been practicing seeing yourself. And now you're ready to see yourself in this context, in the light of the Empowerment Studio. And so I'd like to introduce the Empowerment Experience. It's a playground to practice getting what you want. I'm really excited. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about what's all involved. So, we all know doing a session in the Empowerment Studio, we get to retrain our brains. This is like that stuff we talked about earlier, explore our identity, be really present and grounded, rooted in our body, feel our connection with ourself, and we get to exist in photos. And in community, we practice recognizing our self-worth and actually starting to believe it. We get the capacity to dream bigger than we've ever been able to do before. We explore how self-care might show up in your life. We dream about what this could look like, and then we start to implement. We've got community going on, and then we've got a plan so we can start unfolding this together. What if those two could be combined? Now you get to do both with the Empowerment Experience, a 6-month empowerment adventure with friends. So what we are doing is we are combining community, 6 months of intimate, small group community, online, some in person, with an epic photo shoot adventure, a photo shoot that you get to design your own experience, be witnessed in your becoming. All put together in the 6 months together. You're going to be in a crafted playground where we are going to just practice getting what you want. You get to practice figuring out what you want and then asking for it and having those needs met. You're going to get to experience what it's like to have things going your way. This is a place where you get to be you. This is not you as a parent or you as a worker or you as a partner or you as a caregiver. This is where you get to come in and be you with no roles, no obligations, no expectations. You. Who are you? You get to be that version of yourself here. And if you don't know who that version of yourself is, then this is a really great place to explore. And we're doing this in the course of 6 months. We're going to be spending 6 months together because I want you to be able to have the time and the space to dig in, to practice, to expand with ease. I don't want you to feel like, oh, I've got to figure this out right now and then I have to implement it tomorrow. And then, no, this stuff takes time to like shift and craft a life and an identity that you feel aligned with. That takes time. Here's what I'm curious about. What do you want? What's missing? What do you want your life to feel like? Because this container is going to be a really beautiful space to figure it out. And not only to figure it out, but to believe it, to believe that you deserve it. Because what if it's not the time and the money, all these other things? What if that's not what's in your way? What if deep down you don't know what you want, or you do, but you don't think you deserve it? And then deep down, you're not letting yourself have it. By the time you come into the studio for your photo shoot, you will have a chance to practice being this bigger, taking up space, indulging in your needs version of yourself, so that when you come in, you get to be that version of yourself out loud, and then you get to see it. You get to have it reflected back to you.